patriotic, and it has changed my life. I'm a fan of his ever since. I love this collection. Thousands most legendary supermodels and more. The four queens of the runway. Fashion, New York Fashion Week is right around the corner. Librarian tonight, and that's because I came to read a bitch. Jaja's Atelier, bitch. Well. Look what the Mississippi Willacoochee drug in, honey. It's your girl. I'm back. I feel a whole lot better. Listen, after the night of November the 6th, I went into just meltdown. Listen, this is the first episode back since Kamala Harris lost the election. Before I really get into the read, after election night was over, I did post a few words on my social media. I just want to give Kamala Harris an honorable mention. I don't think she did anything wrong. I do think they could have executed the campaign a little bit differently, but who's to say that that even would have worked, right? I said this on my social media. Given less time, held to a higher standard, denied respect, while remaining strong, sharp, overqualified, level-headed, yet no nonsense, and might I add, well motherfucking put together. We thank you for stepping in when our country needed you most, and you did exactly what needed to be done, the way Black women have done in and for this country since its inception. And we do not want you to forget it. We won't ever again let African American women forget it. Not even for a moment. You have busted the seal and gotten us even closer to the real American dream whilst chipping away at the misogyny, racism, and homophobia that has poisoned our government since it began. And for that, Madam Vice President, we thank you with a lifetime supply of gratitude. And yeah, that's my feelings towards Kamala Harris. She did come out and speak. I believe it was like a day or two after. Yeah. I think you completely changed my mind. I want to add to what I said that day. She completely changed my mind about how I viewed her. I did not like her at first. I was not a Kamala Harris fan after she was running for president against Joe Biden in 2020 or 2019. And it was that whole busing incident, comment incident and all of that. I really was not feeling her, but unlike the rest of the country that we're getting ready to talk about, I had to overcome my ignorance and do my research. And to you, Madam Vice President, and to America, really, you guys missed out on what would have been a real experience of unity that I think this country has never seen. Now, let's get into the good part. So, with that being said, I have to give congratulations to our country's incoming president, Elon Musk, and his first lady, Donald Trump. The couple looks so happy here. The president and his first lady, honey. Give them a round of applause. Give them a round of sound effects. I need a round of applause for our new president and his first lady, honey. Listen. Everybody's saying, oh, we voted for Trump because of the economy. Oh, the eggs are too high. Oh, I can't get a new lawnmower. Oh, the economy. Let me tell y'all something. Shit been high since I was little. I remember when my grandma used to tell me that gas was 85 cents a gallon, and she said that was high. I remember when eggs in the store was $1.29, and my mama used to say, "Oh, these are expensive." I remember when chicken wings, cut chicken wings, pre-cut chicken wings were, well, I'm from Jersey, so we used to get it by the pound, but it used to be like 99 cents a pound for wings. And that was high. It wasn't the economy that drove voters, in my opinion, that drove voters to go down there and just turn America into the Red Sea and vote for Donald Trump. It was certain talking points that were fueled with hate. That's what it was. And that's what a lot of people went down to the polls, is what hate is what led a lot of people down to the polls. It wasn't the economy. Shit been high. We've all always complained about the price of everything. Please. This is my personal opinion. Now, everybody can say what they want about Kamala Harris and the Democrats, but, you know, the alternative, and things are already starting to happen. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I didn't think I was going to come back and do the show. I didn't. Because just the thought, listen, I grew up with older parents. One of my parents is an immigrant, my mother. And I used to sit and listen to the older people talk about the days when even my dad grew up in Nutley, New Jersey. I remember my dad telling me what it was like to go to school and you got to use a certain water fountain. Or you can't do this because you're black and your rights and this and this. And when they would tell me these stories, the look on their face was of such seriousness because they had actually been through it. So though I personally have not been through anything like that, I understand what this rollback could really mean. People already are starting to see it. Now they're saying a lot of Latinos went out and voted for Trump, which I believe. I see it here where I live in Virginia all the time. I think a part of that too is when you're coming from another country, sometimes America means whiteness to a lot of people in different countries. So when they come here, they do align themselves with the Republican. There are a lot of Latino and Hispanic Republicans in this country. A lot of them, I saw horror stories on the news already. There was a Hispanic Trump supporter, I forgot what state it was in, whose children went over to play with the white children who also are, come from a family of Trump supporters. And the father let off gunshots in the air and told the man, "I don't want your children over here. You're Hispanic. I don't want you over here." And he was flabbergasted. I also saw a video of a young black man who was telling a story about how he was going to a MAGA event to celebrate the win, and his white friend told him, "You're not welcome." It's going to be a whole lot of slow singing and flower bringing. I live in Virginia. We're not a red state, but I believe our governor is a Republican. This is a very, 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 the part of Virginia I live in is very Republican. Very. And I see people taking down their Trump signs. I drive past these homes every day, on my way to work, on my way to the store, and people are taking their Trump signs down because they already realize the effects of what's getting ready to come. It's an absolute shit show. And I was sad. Now listen, guys, I haven't been on in 2 weeks, so this is gonna be in real time, me expressing how I really feel about what's going on since the election. I haven't been on social media much at all. At all. Because it's just unbelievable. Like, I kind of figured that he was gonna win, but I was prepared for the worst, I thought, but I was praying for the best. Um there's a lot of people, like I said, that went down there that were driven to the polls by hate. And it's gonna come right back around and bite you in your ass. I've had to unfriend a couple people. I told you this the last episode. I've had to step back from a couple of people because it's not that you're just voting, oh, I'm just a Republican. No, 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 no. No. Don't gaslight me. And don't play in my face, play on my top, and insult my intelligence. Don't do that. You're voting against my rights. Let's start with, okay, we started with people who voted for the because of the economy is some bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I would rather pay $10 for a dozen eggs than be under a Trump regime. But I do have a theory about what's going to happen. I do have a theory. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. Um, White people. Not all, but a lot of y'all. What is it? White people in the Republican Party. What more do you want from minorities? What more do you want from black people? What more do you want? Not even what more do you want. What more do you want to put us through as minorities in this country? You never think y'all never think things all the way through. Your entitlement is disgustingly just overwhelming. And this victimization of being white, like, the gays are after us. Oh, the gays are after our children. Oh, the blacks, they're coming, they're robbing us. Oh, the Haitians, they're eating the dogs. What? It's all a bunch of bullshit. And a lot of y'all minorities that went down there and voted for that man. I can't do anything but laugh. It's laughable at this point. I can't do anything but laugh. I can't do anything but laugh. I cannot believe you went down there and voted for that man, and now a lot of y'all are getting on the internet crying, asking, "Can we revote?" And then another thing, most Americans lack critical thinking skills, which is really unfortunate for the ones that for the kids that y'all are raising, because Trump is nominating the co-founder of WWE. Let me ask Google, what is her name? Oh my God. Hey Google, what is the name of the woman who Trump just appointed head of education?
Here are some results from the web.
Linda McConnon. McCohan? McMahon. Linda McMahon. He has just named Linda McMahon. I'm high. I'm sorry. Listen, don't judge me, because we're all sitting on ready at this point. Okay? So, excuse me if I had to hit the reefer one good time. I might hit it while we on the air. Are we on the air? I don't know, but I'll tell you as soon as I hit this reefer. Boop. Uh, Linda McMahon is going to be Education Secretary of the United States, founder of WWE Wrestling. He has also tapped Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz. That's right. Straight from daytime TV, honey. Dr. Oz. To do something with the health. I don't know. And he'll be working under JFK Jr. We also have, oh, this is my favorite, Attorney General Matt Gaetz. This is what y'all voted for. These people are so ill-equipped to run a McDonald's, let alone a whole country, a whole department for a country. He has his loyalists lined up. They are talking about doing recess appointments, which means the House and the Senate would close. He would close the House and the Senate and just push the people right on through, which I was watching Don Lemon to make sure I had my legal jargon together. And from what he's saying, you're only supposed to do that if they're already on recess. Recess appointments is what it's called. You're only supposed to do that if it's an emergency. And he's already taking liberties. Matt Gaetz has a whole, sex with a minor case going on. SA with a minor case going on. So does RFK Jr. So it's another guy. He's up for it too. And then we have, do I want to get into that yet? I'm kind of all over the place because I haven't been on in a while, so bear with me. Then we have this lady right here. Let's just get right into it. I'm ready to get right into it. Matt Gaetz. Nobody likes Matt Gaetz. Let me just tell y'all that. I've known this for years. He's a weirdo. He's a real weirdo. Look at his tight ass face. He's a real fucking spaz. A real prick and a spaz. He has an alleged drug problem, clearly. If I had to guess, allegedly, in my personal opinion, what he's on, it's definitely a mix of Percocet and Zoloft. Somewhere in between there. And a little cocaine. Definitely. Cocaine is all around those eyes. Allegedly, in my personal opinion. He's also been on the air and talked about how he hasn't washed his hands in over 10 years. He's a dirty little prick. Just a dirty, filthy little prick. But again, this is what y'all voted for. And I'm not going to get loud. I'm not going to get angry. I did all that already for a week straight. There's nothing I can do. I can't help anybody but my own. I mean, the trans issue in the bathrooms are being brought up. Before I get into that, I have to send a huge shout out. Now, I know I sent this over here. Y'all forgive me, y'all. Okay, here we go. I have to send a huge shout out to Sarah McBride. She becomes the first openly trans person to be elected to Congress. But it's being met with a lot of backlash from Republican Representative Nancy Mace. Nancy Mace came out and she said, I will not be using the bathroom. I will not be using the bathroom with that man. Okay? I am a victim. Hold on now. I am a victim of sexual assault and a survivor of rape. I will not be using the bathroom with that man. Congress needs to do something about this. Look at her. Look at her. Look at this cunt. Look at her. So, after all of that, here comes House Speaker Mike Johnson. Take a look at what he says.
Hello, everybody. I just want to make a statement for all of you here and be very clear. I was asked a question this morning at the leadership gaggle, and I rejected the premise because the answer is so obvious. For anybody who doesn't know my well-established record on this issue, let me be unequivocally clear. A man is a man, and a woman is a woman, and a man cannot become a woman. That said, I also believe, that's what Scripture teaches, what I just said, but I also believe that we treat everybody with dignity, and so we can do and believe all those things at the same time, and I wanted to make that clear for everybody because there's lots of questions, but that's where I stand. I've stood there my whole life, and those are facts.
Mike Johnson, what the fuck does that have to do with what y'all need to be doing for us, the American people? Not to mention that within the house, you know, the offices, the building of the house, there is several single stall and unisex bathrooms. So what is the problem? You are wasting taxpayers' dollars. But that was the plan the whole time, wasn't it, Republicans? Trans people make up less than 5% of the United States population. I don't even believe a lot of these people have even met a trans person. A lot of these people that are out here touting this, it's the trans people! They've never even met a trans person. Oh my God. It is really, the wind is really blowing. I'm hoping that doesn't happen again. Okay. All right. I'm going to pause this for a second. Okay, I'm back. Listen, I had to make sure, I had to figure out what the fuck was going on. But it does seem like it's getting ready to storm a little bit. Am I out of frame? It does seem like it's gonna storm a little bit, but it's not real bad. Oops. It's not real bad. So we're gonna go ahead and continue. My lights aren't gonna go out or anything. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I don't even think a lot of these people that are talking that trans, y'all have never even met or talked to trans people. And I'm gonna let's end this bathroom issue right here, right now. Let me light me a cigarette. Let's end this bathroom issue with the trans people right here, right now. Me personally, I don't even use the bathroom when I go out. You can ask my sister Shannon and my brother Adrian. I don't use the bathroom, the public bathrooms, when I go out. Very rarely. And the times when I have, I might have used, I could count on one hand how many times I might have used the women's restroom. And 3 of those times I know for sure they were single stall women's restrooms. So it's just like one way in, one way out, one person. I have gone to the bathroom on the side of the road. Even when I was a butch queen, before I was even trans, I wouldn't like to go to the bathroom. And it's the stupidest fucking issue. It makes no fucking sense. It affects hardly nobody, because I'm gonna tell you, I know other trans girls, and a lot of them go in the bathroom and y'all don't even know that they trans. It was one time I had to pee so fucking bad, and I was in my full regalia. I had heels on. I was in a white dress. Fully. I was giving 90s Vixen, honey, like I always do. And I needed to use the bathroom, and I just went right into the women's bathroom, and there were women in there. Oh, hi, I love your dress. Oh, thank you. As tall as I am. They didn't even know. I went in there, I did my business, I came out, and I continued on with my meal, and I went home. The only people that are making this an issue, black folk, are the Republicans, because they have nothing else. They have ran their whole political campaign on lies and gaslighting, and y'all fell for it. Oh, we're going to send all the migrants back. 11 million migrants a year. Do you know how much money that's going to... If they send all of the migrants back, the American economy will indefinitely crash. Who's going to get up 3 o'clock in the morning and go pick them melons and them cantaloupes and them pineapples and everything else? And I'm not saying that to be funny. I've been seeing farmers on the news worried sick. They're saying they're already shorthanded as it is. And they're saying, like, if y'all send my people back, like, what the hell are we going to do? We can't get nobody else to do these kind of jobs. Then y'all are calling them criminals, and those people are coming over here. Yes, they may be illegal. Yes. But guess what? They're doing all the work that none of us American citizens want to do, and they're not really bothering nobody. Statistics have shown most crime that's committed in America is by the Americans. Those people are just trying to come over here and find a better life. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I lived in Mexico for a little over a year. When I was 14, I went to boarding school in Mexico, and all of the staff that worked at the school were of Mexican descent, and I learned a lot about the Mexican people when I lived there. They're peaceful people. There's, like the song says, even heaven got a ghetto. Lord forgive me, that's a little sacrilegious, but you get what I'm saying. There's bad in everything. But I'm going to tell you something. Y'all white folks, y'all move through this world like a cancer, ripping up everything in y'all's path. And it's not all white people. There are good white people out there. But y'all need to talk to y'all brethren. This is not about making America great again. This is not about the economy. This is not about trans people. This is not about migrants. This is about a bunch of weird ass motherfucking white dudes trying to, I want to take over the world, like Pinky and the motherfucking Brain. That's what this is about. This is about greed. And all of y'all fell for it. Those of you that went down there and voted for him, those of you that didn't vote, you have to take responsibility for this. And again, this is not just, oh, I'm a Democrat and you disagree with me, and oh, I'm a Republican. No. This is about our freedoms and our rights. And I would think that none of us want to be under a dictatorship. I just realized today that the president can choose the head of the RCA, whoever controls all the entertainment that we watch. There are already celebrities that don't want to do interviews, allegedly, reportedly, because they don't want to be asked about Trump in fear that they could not be hired because one of Trump's cronies owns Paramount, owns Disney, owns MSNBC, or wants stakes in MSNBC, or there's mergers coming. Oh, and don't get me started on the porn. I'm really hot about that. All we could do right now is make sure we vote our state primaries. That's what we have to make sure we go to. Y'all already not liking what's going on. Y'all already complaining. Anyway. So, listen. Kim Kardashian has landed another major fashion icon collab with Dolce & Gabbana. I'm a little disappointed in you, Kim. I mean, the ad is fabulous. It's leopard print. It's Dolce & Gabbana. But let's talk about what's more important. What side do you stand on, Kim? Because I'm losing a little admiration for you. with you toting this Tesla robot and these Tesla cars, Cybertrucks all around your compound. What where you riding, sis? Because last time I checked, you had black children. You had black nieces and nephews. Huh? Now, the ad campaign was really, really cute. You know, back in 2022, Kim, listen, listen, I'm a huge fan of Kim K. Everybody knows that about me. But I'm looking at a lot of people differently. A lot of people differently. And I'm slowly losing admiration for Kim. It was really tone deaf. And yes, you're trying to get black men out of jail, and and then you're trying to free the Menendez brothers. You know, what's really going on? And she's doing the ad with her sister Courtney. You know, the two of them got into a huge argument. Because Dolce and Gabbana did Courtney's wedding, and then Kim kind of swooped in and had that. She took the role of creative director over that 2022 collection entitled Child Kim. And I remember Courtney asking her, "When is enough enough? Like when is it enough money for you?" And I wonder if you're getting paid for this to have the Tesla robot and all of that. You have a lot of black fans, Kim. You have a lot of LGBTQ plus fans. You have a lot of female fans. Learn how to read the room, sis. I still respect you. I still have love for you. But learn how to read a room, because my patience is running thin. I done already took your pictures down in here. I'm very disappointed. But celebrities are just people. They're not gods. So though I respect the looks over the years, though I respect, the hustle, the only person I idolize is Jesus Christ. And that's just where I'm at with it. But congratulations, Kim. I did check out some of the pieces. I won't be buying. They're a little too expensive. $98 for a wife beater top in leopard print, honey, is a little too much out of my budget for me, but I'm sure you'll sell out. So congratulations. And I'm glad you're finally letting your sister Courtney in on a piece of the pie. I'm glad you guys' relationship is doing so much better. Next story. So, in more fashion news, we have Ellie Saabs celebrated 45 years in the fashion game with a huge celebration. Hold on, let me read it from my notes. I told y'all I'm getting back into the swing of things. I've been gone for 2 weeks. Give me a moment, okay? Let me light this cigarette. In more fashion news, Ellie Saab hosted its anniversary show, bringing music and fashion to celebrate the house's 45th year anniversary with a moment, honey, featuring, they had performances from J-Lo, Celine Dion closed the show. It's amazing. Look at her. It's amazing seeing her come back after watching that documentary and seeing all that she's been through. And she looks absolutely fabulous. She sounded amazing. She looked amazing. But my favorite part of the entire night was Halle Berry stepping out in her 2002 Oscar-winning gown that made history. She was the first black woman in 2002 to win Best Actress in a drama for Monsters Ball. And she wore Ellie Saab. And I remember at the time, Ellie Saab was not like a celebrity go-to at the time. And I remember after she wore this dress, which is stunning on her till this day. 20 something years later, I remember all of a sudden there was a whole Ellie Saab resurgence, if you will, and she really brought Ellie Saab to the red carpet in a way that hadn't kind of been done before, in my personal opinion. So I thought this moment was great. Another moment that I thought was just absolutely hilarious. Where is the video? Okay, look at all of them standing here with Mr. Ellie Saab. Look at them. And J-Lo, you just gotta be the main girl, don't you? She just, look at her. She just cannot help herself. Play it again. Look at her. She's so extra with it. She's blocking all the other girls. Look at Halle Berry. Look at Halle Berry's face. Look at Halle Berry. Halle Berry's like, girl, you are so over. So huge congratulations to the house of Ellie Saab on 45 years. So what else do we have? Oh. So. Jesus. So, Carisha Please is back with a new episode. And her guest for her latest episode is rapper Ellie Chopper, who I happen to really, really like so far. When are y'all gonna get enough of asking this man if he's gay? How many times does this man have to tell you he's not gay, he is not bisexual, he likes pussy, he likes women, he loves women, he just has respect for the gay community? When are y'all going to stop asking this young man this question? When y'all see him beat up a fag? Will that make you believe it? Anyway, take a look at what he said.
So how do you feel about having like a big gay following? Because I know you do gay pride events.
Yeah, I'm appreciative of it. Mm-hmm. I'm appreciative of it because at the end of the day, I feel like we are taught to not show love to people because they walk a different life. Mm-hmm. Who taught that shit? Who taught that people supposed to show hate in any instance? Mm-hmm. God don't do that. God is love. What the hell is we showing hate for? He would never. What would God do?
Amen, my brother. And Carisha, instead of worrying about his sexuality, what's going on with your name on that Diddy paperwork, sis? I know your first episode of the season was all about that, but you didn't really touch on it the way I thought you should. Maybe Carisha will come over here to the atelier. I'll be interviewing her from my porch because she's not welcome in my home. But yeah. It's just like, and this is the kind of stuff that the Republicans sat back and looked at and played on. And her reaction to his answer wasn't even like, I know that's right. It was just kind of like, oh, okay. All right. Girl, worry about your name all over those indictments and that paperwork over there at Diddy Land. Worry about that. I don't even understand why she has a show. Propping people up that they need to be in the back. But I will say this, there is a lot of talk about NLE Chopper and if he's sincere with what he's saying or he's just getting to the bag. I think he's sincere. I really do think he's sincere. I've seen him interact with his gay fans. He hugs them. He loves on them. He's comfortable with his manhood. This is what a real man looked like. This is the one you ain't got to worry about leaving home alone while you go around the corner to get a pack of cigarettes and a blunt wrap and worry about leaving your gay best friend home with him. You ain't got to worry about men like this. It's them ones that be pounding on their chest. Those are the ones. And a lot of y'all are with those ones. Just saying. Anyway, well, like I said at the top of the show, I had to take a break from social media, but while I was getting back into the swing of things earlier this week, I came across this video of Queen Mother of Fashion, the iconic, the legendary, the inspirational Beth Ann Hardison, talking at the BOF Voices Summit. And I just want to leave us on a positive note. We threw a little shade, but I do want to leave us on a positive note because I feel like we do need positivity. And yeah, take a look.
Fear is a very interesting word. I've gone up an international industry and I wrote letters and went to the press. I did a lot of things. I didn't feel so fearful of those moments. It took me a while to get there. It took me 1, 2 years, 3 years, and 4 years. It took me that time because, it's not easy, calling people out, especially people you've never met, but you know that they've done the wrong thing. And I believed in my industry. I believed that they weren't racist. I had to believe that in order to go up against them. I had to show them how ignorant they were. Ignorance to me is far worse than racism to me.
A word. Ignorance is far worse than racism to me. And I wanted to leave us off on that note because I honestly feel like the people from her generation are really the last of the Mohicans that are really here to really tell us the story because they were actually there when things were the way they're trying to dial it back to again. And it's the words from the pillars in our community like Beth Ann Hardison that we really, really, really now more than ever need to pay attention to and take direction from, because that's what's gonna get us through whatever is yet to come. I really thought about not doing my show and just laying in the bed and just watching TV and going to work and stacking my money. But I was laying in the bed on Sunday and I had went to Adrian's house. I had pulled up on him. Hey, Adrian. I had pulled up on him. And he knows that I was really upset after the election. I really was upset, like bawling, crying. And all of a sudden I started to feel better because I remember my mom and my dad and my grandmother and my grandpa telling me the stuff that they had went through. But I also remember them telling me how great it was when they came out on the other side. And we will come out on the other side. Anyway, I love you guys. I'm back. I ain't going nowhere until they boot me off this motherfucker. I'll be here with my titties at the top and dick at the bottom. Talking all my greasy, fabulous fashion shit. Honey, anyway, I love y'all. Ciao. I'll be back in a few days. Promise.